Two bears, one cave. At 15, I'm like 215 pounds, you know?
And whatever you are, 5'8".
They're like, yeah, 5', 6.5".
And so you walk in, and
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. You got a guest? Yeah. Oh, great.
the fucking Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup is here. Yeah.
Are you being
Is this
serious?
right here? Yeah.
Is this really the Stanley
This
Cup?
is the real Stanley Cup. Hey,
Are you?
how's it
Hang on,
going,
hang
man?
on. Spin around here. Is this the fucking Stanley Cup?
This is the Stanley Cup.
This is a prank. This is
No,
a prank.
This is the real Stanley Cup.
This is the real Stanley Cup?
Yes.
But
Yes.
how do I know that it's the real Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
By the way, this happened to me with a cop one time.
This is really amazing, man. Look how beautiful this is. Can I
Hold
ask
on.
you something? Yeah. Are we allowed to drink out of it?
No.
No.
By the way,
You gotta be around the winners to do that.
You got to? Okay. I mean, the person who...
here, swing around here so we can see your face, sir.
Yeah. This is absolutely amazing to look at.
Wait, how did this fucking show up here? Are you in the wrong room?
Well, Wayne Gretzky's next door, so they figured he could just pop in here and do this real quick.
I got a phone call from the NHL and an email that said, "Come up here and be here for around 2:30." Here I am.
Thanks
Are
so
you
much.
shitting me?
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is why you changed it. You didn't have a fucking meeting.
No,
You're such a fucking liar.
I did. And that's why I was texting, though. So when you talk about texting, see, the thing is about baseball is it's just a great sport, man. And so I know.
Wait,
so
this is, hold on. So
give us a little. Can you give us a little bit of? Like, do you know any of the history of?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so tell us.
I've been traveling with it for 21 years.
For 21 years.
Yeah, this is the best relationship I've had in 21 years. Too. I live on the road with it.
So why? Give us like a little history on.
Yeah, Stanley Cup's 128 years old. Stands 34 1/4 inches tall. Made of it's 37.5 pounds. 97% silver, 3% nickel. It started off just as a bowl back in 1893 and started to grow. It was a little taller, more cylinder-like in 1947, and then they redesigned it to the shape that you see before you today. It doesn't get any bigger. We retire rings. This ring's going to come off in 11 years. Move all the rings up. put a new
Really?
ring- a new
That's
ring.
how it happens.
I was wondering, this says 1904, and then you jump right to 1973. I was like, that's a lot of
So wait,
fucking
the
work.
ring comes off in a very like deliberate and special way that like preserves it.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll go into the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, get enshrined in the Esso Great Hall, where the actual original bull sits. Everything's original, but the actual bull itself, and it'll go into a vault, and it'll be cut in half and mounted on a wall for more generations to see.
And so for our listeners who don't or are not watching right now, you're wearing white gloves. You take extra special care of this. How much does this weigh?
37.5 pounds.
37.5 pounds. And so when a team wins, do they get a replica or everybody?
No, they play for the real thing.
They
get
play
the
for
real
they
thing.
get the real thing.
And they get it for the year?
No, they get each player. Well, they get the team gets 100 days with it. So pretty much from the night they win till when the season starts. And we travel literally around the world with the organization because we got players from all different parts of the world.
And they'll get to travel with it for a minute.
Yeah, they get. We'll bring it to their hometown, whether it's in Canada, here in the
So
U.S.
like if a team has a Ukrainian player,
Yep.
you'll
I've
fly
been there.
and
You fly to the Ukraine, and you're like, hey, Vlad, guess what I got for you? And he's like, oh,
and show it to my
someone grab the goat. We're going to put milk in it, huh?
Was that the Ukraine in your
No,
experience?
that's not the Ukraine, and it was Ruslan Fedotenko, not Vladdy.
Ruslo, pойдем, be.
Were you ever surprised at the quality of strip clubs in some of the places you visited?
First of all, I'm from Canada, so nothing touches Canada in that area.
Wow.
But the
way too cold.
cup doesn't go in strip joints.
No?
Those days are long.
Wait,
What's the weirdest place the cup's been?
That'd be Afghanistan.
it was in Afghanistan?
Holy shit, it signed up for the military?
We went to visit the military and see the troops. Literally, to be in the middle of a war zone was pretty wild.
Was that scary, like terrifying at all?
Yeah, no. I went over there on 3 different occasions with the cup, and the first time I went over, after we got on the ground, we did all this press and stuff and dealt with the top brass, and one of the generals asked me if we could go visit some troops at another base. And I'm like, well, the NHL doesn't want me leaving Canada, but let me ask you this. Are you coming with? And he goes, absolutely. Next thing I know, we're up in the air with the U.S. Marines flying us across the ground and guns pointed at the ground in case we got shot at. Didn't know at the time, but Special Forces was following us in case we did get shot down. We got to Ford Operating Base, and the place went mental when we got there. It was amazing to see how many hockey fans and jerseys that came out. And when I got back into Kandahar, I went back to the barracks where I was staying, and the air raid siren went off. Well, I didn't get any of the safety briefing, so I didn't know what the heck was going on. And so I'm just sitting on the cup case reading a magazine while the fighter jets, and apparently we were under attack. I didn't see any missiles, but apparently there were missiles coming into the base, and I was the only guy that didn't take cover because I missed the safety briefing.
That is wild. But does this have a like when you're going, let's say, base to base or whatever, even traveling in a non-war zone, does this have like a special case that you then put it in?
Yeah, it does. It's just outside in your lobby.
Oh, go grab it. Leave us alone with the cup for a second.
Yeah, good idea.
Can we touch this?
You totally can touch it.
Okay.
So all I'm thinking about is a promo. When was the last time Washington D.C. won the cup?
Over here.
Okay. Hey, someone grab my phone. Oh, shut up. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The Washington
Big
Capitals.
fan over here.
St. Louis Blues. By the way, I went to my first hockey match in L.A. I went to see the Kings play. It was fucking awesome. I grew up in Florida, so we didn't have Canadians. You know,
I was in St. Louis.
I mean, half of Canada lives in Florida.
Now they do.
But I was in St. Louis when they were in the conference finals that year. What, 2 years ago, right? Or last year was it?
Last year.
Last year, and it was mayhem. Like, because I was playing in the venue attached to their arena.
Oh, okay.
And so the city was going.
The theater there.
Yeah, the Stifle. Yeah.
Stifle, yeah.
This is so fucking insane. So they put every single player's name on here.
Yeah, so it goes ownership, upper management, coaches, trainers, and players. 52 names per year go in the cup.
52 exactly.
Yeah, and 65 years is the longest, 52 is the shortest you can be on the cup. This year's winner is going to go right over here. I know we're on radio. But,
And who's going to win this year?
that's a good question. First team that gets to 16 wins, I guess.
And hey, are you traveling year round? So it's never parked officially for a long time somewhere?
No, we're on the road about 320 some odd days a year.
Yeah.
I'm on the road about 200 plus of that. It does go home to the Hall of Fame once in a while. If you go to the Hall of Fame today, you'd see the replica, and along with the original bowl in the cup or in the vault. But this is the presentation. This is the one that goes on the ice.
This is
the
amazing.
one the players get.
Let me ask you this:
You're touching the same thing that every great player that's hoisted the cup is touching.
what's the most disrespectful thing you've seen done?
That's what I want to talk about. I want to hear crazy cup stories.
Yeah.
You know, it's not quite like everybody thinks it is.
No?
I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, before there was a keeper and before they had kind of control, if you talk to guys in the 70s and 60s, they didn't get 5 minutes with it. Some guys never even held it when they won it.
Really?
I got a little out of hand in the 80s and 90s, and the league was going to dial it right back to the way it used to be, where it goes on the ice and then back to the hall. But they did a lot of really cool things with it, and, you know, guys will eat out of it, drink out of it, of course.
I imagine
on
on
top
a-
of mountains fishing. And guys respect it. I mean, they've worked their entire life for this.
That's true.
You know, when alcohol does come in,
That's what I'm
common
saying.
sense does go out, or
There's
liquid
alcohol, there's
But
cocaine, and then there's
By the way,
girls.
I was willing to get a DUI with this cup today. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
drove here and I was like, when he showed up, I go, looks like I'm drinking.
Yep.
So they drink out of it. Drink maybe Molson.
Drink a variety of beers, a lot of beer.
So the only
champagne.
people though that really you got to be there like at a winning moment.
Yeah, you got to be. It has to be held by one of the guys who has their name on the cup for you to be able to drink out of it.
That's a rule.
That's a rule.
It has to be held by one of the
Just
guys.
because, again, back in
Wow.
the time, accidents happen, and the thing wasn't going to last another 100 years if we kept
Yeah.
going. And you know, it is.
Do you have
Stanley
to
Cup.
get? Does it happen regularly where you have to get aggressive for somebody trying to do something?
Yeah. When was the last time you had to smack a wrist with the cup around? Like, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't put other friends' dicks in the cup.
Things like that.
We're not running a train on the. Stop it! God damn.
People have.
catch it.
I imagine people have tried to piss in the cup, right?
I had one incident where some guy was trying to do something, and he was a big boy, and I knocked him down and just gave it to him, and I thought to myself, this guy gets up, it could be a little scary, but I said, no, God.
Was he jacking off in the cup?
No, he was not. He was trying to do something stupid, and I just knocked him down.
What was it?
He was. I looked like he was trying to pee in it.
He's trying to pee in it.
He didn't
Yeah,
get close
yeah.
to it.
That's disrespectful.
I mean, what did the guy look like? Did he look like us, or was he like, you know what I mean?
He looked worse than you guys.
Okay. That's not what I meant, but can we
So
do?
you're saying he was in shape.
Can we do some photos?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right,
You
come
can
on,
do it.
Bert.
Take
Let's
some
fucking. Are you shitting me? This is so fucking cool.
Mike, thank you so much for bringing the Stanley Cup. You had a trivia question. We'd love to guess. Your question was.
Yeah, how many regular cans of beer does the Stanley Cup hold?
I feel like that's got to hold more than you think. Like,
So it just goes to again, I know we're
right.
to there.
I'm
8?
guessing. I'm gonna guess 6.
6, eh?
Yeah.
8?
Wow. Not bad, but 14.
14.
What?
Wow.
14. Now, as a good Canadian boy, you don't put 14 in because 6 of them fall out, and that's just a crime.
Right, right,
That's called alcohol abuse.
right.
Oh, yeah, because I guess in order to pour it in.
Yeah.
But I've seen it right to the rim, and it's 14 exactly.
14, man. Damn.
This is really, really, really cool. What a unique job you have.
Yeah.
So let's do a game, okay? We're sitting on an airplane, and I go, and you be you, and I'll be me, okay? Hey man, you flying home or flying to work?
Probably going to work.
Oh really? What do you do?
The honest answer is yes. I'm the keeper of the cup. If I'm want to just sit there and sleep, I sell insurance. You looking for any?
Oh yeah, I'm an abortion doctor. I'm gonna go to sleep too. You're the keeper of the cup.
Is
Do you
that
work
your
for Game of Thrones?
That is your go-to though? Insurance. Like I have a.
I mean, most of the time, no. I mean, you guys probably fly a lot. You sit down, nobody usually talks. You get the odd person, and sometimes I'll talk and explain what I do. But
if you
usually, as soon as you mention what you do, it opens up 1,000 questions, and your next thing you know.
I was gonna say, I bet if you hear a Canadian accent,
That's what I was about to say too.
You're like, man, I sell pens, like because it's really gonna go
So,
deep.
what you do for a living, huh?
If that's his Canadian accent. He does mostly
work on
impressions. So, what you do for a living?
Oh, I'll take a Molson, please.
Oh my!
So, why are you going home or to work?
Are you Dutch now?
Sound Asian.
He is.
You should hear my Asian accent.
He has
spot on.
Just so you know, he's got
You get paid for impressions. Wow.
he has a pretty wild reputation.
I've seen him. I actually seen him before on the Comedy Network.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you find it enjoyable?
When his shirt's off. That's
What's the Club de Hockey Canada?
Club de Hockey Canadiens, French way of saying Montreal Canadiens.
Oh. How do you feel about Montreal?
I like Montreal. It's a great organization. Their names are on there the most, 24 times.
24?
Yeah, followed by the Toronto Maple Leafs with 13 and Detroit 11.
Fuck.
Wow.
I didn't realize that Montreal has double.
Yeah, they haven't Canada. They're the last Canadian team to win the cup in 1993, and it has not been won in Canada since then.
That's got to kill the country.
Well, again, there are a lot of Canadians on a lot of teams down
That's
here
true.
in the U.S. I mean, you look at St. Louis. I think majority of their I know for a fact majority of their team was full of Canadians. Had a few Europeans and a couple of Americans.
But so the Cup has made many trips to Canada, but
Oh yeah, well that's
with
where its home is too.
Right.
The Hall of Fame.
But still, a Canadian team needs to win, man.
Be nice to see someday. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, man, this was awesome.
This was fucking way. I did not see this happening today. This is really cool, man. Yeah. And by the way, I don't even really follow hockey. I mean, personally, I think I'd be a superior goalie, but I think I missed my window unless someone wants to give me a shot.
Yo, I just noticed this right here: 2004-05 season not played.
Yeah.
And why go out of the way to make that distinction?
Because it's a running piece of hockey history.
Okay.
It happened. Whether it's a good thing or bad, I mean, it definitely changed the way our game is for sure. It's never good to lose an entire season, but in 1919, it was also not awarded due to the Spanish influenza epidemic, and they canceled the Stanley Cup final. It was Seattle Metropolitans versus the Montreal Canadiens in 1919, and it says right on there, series not completed. So when we lost the entire season, we felt it was important. Gary Bettman agreed that it was good to mark the cup that we lost a year. I mean, it played through both world wars.
Unreal.
I could sit here with this cup all day. Do you ever get drunk by yourself at your house and just like kind of just go through it and look at it like a fucking phone book?
Yeah, I mean, I sit around with it at my hotel room to my house at home, whether I'm on the road or at home. A lot of times during the Stanley Cup playoffs, I crack out the Stanley Cup, and Stanley and I watch the Stanley Cup playoffs together, having a couple of beers.
This thing never leaves your side?
I mean, me or another guy, yeah. The only time we're really separated is when we fly. Once we check it,
Check the cup?
we have no choice.
There's
Things
no
changed
choice.
a lot after 9/11.
Yeah.
So,
So you used to like fly with like in the seat?
yeah,
or
back in
something?
the day. I mean, we've done it once since 9/11, but to do one flight with a lot of logistics, it took 3 weeks to set up for one flight, and we're on a plane every couple of
And
days.
when you're like flying it home for Sasha in the Republic of Georgia, you check it like on multiple connecting flights and everything?
Yeah, connecting is always a little nerve-wracking. I mean, we were coming back from Siberia, Russia this year, and everything went smooth going through Russia on Siberian Airlines. And then we got to Munich and checked in with Lufthansa, and unfortunately it didn't get on the plane there. So I'm in Toronto, and the Cup's in Munich. And the unfortunate thing is every day is a big day. There's always events going on, and then during the summer it's a really big time because each member of the team gets it. And
How long? What's their distinct amount of time with
it's
it?
a day. Usually first thing in the morning until about midnight.
So you show up like 10 in the morning. And you're like, all right, what are we doing today? And he's like, okay, first we're going to my mom and dad's house, and then we're going to my buddy's house. Then we're going to my agent's. Then we're going to they plan a day. No one's just like, I'm gonna sleep in.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it's exactly.
And
it's a hard scheduled day, especially if it's your first time ever winning it.
Depending on the level, let's say the status of a player, do you have like extra security if they're, you know what I mean, like a more notable?
Yeah, I mean that's up to the player's responsibility to get extra security. I mean, they know, obviously if it's a big name player and the cup. I mean,
what's the story behind this dent right here?
There's been nicks and
Is there a
bangs.
story
I
here?
always say, let's see what you look like at 128 and party like
Is that
Richards, right?
Okay.
So it's in pretty good shape for how old it is. I mean,
But this one seems pretty pronounced.
Yeah, I mean, the trophy doesn't hide behind glass like any other trophy. I mean, it's out in the community every day.
I feel like you're talking shit to other trophies right now. Like
no.
This might be the number one trophy in sports. I don't even know much about hockey, but I know how much fun this.
You know, hockey. 11 guys on the field at the same time, different bases. You run home and you score.
Yeah,
hockey.
Yeah. So wait, can I make an offer right there, right now? If there's anyone,
$6,000, can we keep it?
Throw a few more zeros out.
Okay.
If there's anyone who wins the Stanley Cup at the end of the year and they want me to be a part of their package for their one day, I will party with them morning until night. It'll be on my dime. They don't have to pay me. I will fly out and party with you at the Cup. I would love to have a day partying with the Cup.
Could you
we just put that out there?
Some of the higher ups know?
I can let the guys know. Well, wait till June when they win it, but I'll throw it out there.
Yeah.
For the team that wins.
And no one's ever been like, can I have sex on top, like above the cup? That's a yes.
Oh, that's a yes.
Of course.
I don't know.
Bingo.
Of course.
Hey, look, it's 100.
And was that guy's name Brian?
It's 128 years. I've heard a lot of different stories.
Was that
over
guy's
the days.
name Sydney?
No, it was not.
All right.
Last question. Number one madman who you're like, no, I'm not going back to his house with the cup. It was like the Hangover last time I was there.
No, you know what?
Just say his name.
You know what? No, there's a couple of guys, and their parties are pretty wild and crazy. But no, I've never said, I never. Like, the guys are great. You know, we got a great group of players, coaches, and trainers in the NHL, and you know, it's always a fun time. Guys are good. Like, I've never ever gone, I don't want to do it.
Can we quickly? Can we check out the case? Can we go out there and check out the case?
Yeah, totally.
I thought you were gonna say, can we quickly engrave the names of our tours and specials?
Is that cool? You down with that?
Yeah. Hey, big boy, Birdie Boy World Tour, take it down. What's the name of yours? Still eating? What's the name of your special?
Ball hog.
Ball.
Don't say anything racist. The cup is here.
Oh.
Has anyone ever done
racist.
something super racist to the cup?
No.
Okay, Bert, go for it.
What would someone do racist to the cup?
I don't know. That it's silver. Maybe you don't like the color. I could see you coming up with something.
I'm not racist, sir.
You know how.
I'm not racist. The game's over. I'm not racist.
You know how like non-racist people are always pointing out that they're not. Let's go check out that case.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, sir.
This is amazing.
All right, guys. Thanks for having us.
How the fuck did that happen?
So I got a call that last year that someone told me they're like, oh, there's this NHL event and somebody is a fan, like somebody at the NHL.
Yeah.
And I was on
Why
tour.
are so many athletes fans of yours?
I think we kind of are drawn to each other. Athletic guys and athletes are like, sort of like, you know what I mean? Like they were like, you train, I train. Like,
Yeah.
you want to hang? I was like, yeah.
You ever notice it's retired athletes?
Nah, no, it's like just like powerlifters and me are just kind of really kindred spirits. No, so they said, you know, somebody there was a fan. So the hockey, they wanted me to do something last year. I said I couldn't do it because I was on tour. And then literally a couple days ago, I got a call. Hey, the NHL guys reached out and said the Stanley Cup is in town. Do you want it to visit you? And I was like, yeah. Like, where, when? And they're like, no, it's up to you. Like, what day works? And I was like, Wednesday. And then they got back to me. They're like, yeah, Wednesday works. What time? And I go, well, can they come to the studio? And so I tried to coordinate it, and then I tried to coordinate it because I had to move our time for the meeting.
Oh yeah, you had to coordinate it again.
So I had to go, go back to them, ask them if they'll come, and I wanted it to be as we were recording, so they would just come in with it.
It was the perfect surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was real.
Yeah.
I really didn't think it was real. Like I was like, I was like, there's no way. And then I saw the base, and I was like, there's no way they put that much detail into like
A gag?
a gag. I was like, this is insane. And then
Like how I start. Remember when we did this first episode of this, and I had Hannah, and now you guys are like friends. I had her in
I saw her today.
I had her in a cocktail dress.
I totally degraded her. Now she's my spin teacher.
You were like,
yeah, look at that décolletage. Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, she works out. Yeah, no shit. She's my trainer now.
Your neck was breaking. You were like, man.
And so I feel so horrible.
You're like, I just saw you as
When
a
she saw-
fucking
when she-
slam piece.
I just saw you as a slam piece. Now you're a human.
I didn't see you as a person before. Yeah. And no, it's so weird when you start treating women like as people. Like, has that been a real challenge for you?
Burt and Tom, Tom and Burt. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Burt's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call two bears, one cave.